welcome to Try 10 Minutes of Yoga. This is part 2. And the rationale this time for making 10 minutes of yoga in your daily life more accessible is to build it around an existing routine. So if you're already doing something like a regular walk, or maybe even making a cup of tea or making dinner, this is where the habit becomes so much easier to slot into your day. So I'm going to show you how easy this is, and I'm going to guide you through a yoga practice too. Do remember, this is your practice, and please modify anything that doesn't feel correct for you. Now then, you'll have noticed I've got a kettle in the corner of the room, so I'm going to make a cup of tea to show you that it is feasible to build yoga around an existing routine. So let me switch on my kettle. It will of course make a little bit of a bubbling noise, but the important thing for us is that we start our practice. Lying down on your back, drawing your knees up towards your chest, hugging into your knees and pushing up with the heels. I hope you can hear me. Back down again. Plant the hands down, pushing up with the heels, and back down. Repeat that one more time. Soften the shoulders. Up you go. Lovely. Opening into the back of the knees. Flatten down the feet. Plant the hands on the ground. And then tilting the pelvis towards your face. And allowing yourself to come into a nice moving bridge. Inhaling on the way up. Exhaling on the way down. Pressing with the toes, draw the chin in towards the chest. Moving up and landing softly. Maybe the next time you come up into your bridge, you might even want to hold it for just a few pauses. Lifting the chest, pressing into the soles of the feet and the toes. And then softly landing. Lovely. Draw your knees up towards your chest and then straighten out with one leg. And you've got your other leg bent. You're going to cross your hand across the body to reach over to the opposite leg. And then you can draw it and roll gently over towards the side, keeping the opposite hand nicely, softly landed on the ground. Maybe we're going to move to the opposite side now, come back to centre, stretch out with the opposite leg, cross the body, holding onto the knee and coaxing it all the way over to the other side. A lovely twist. As you come back to the centre, tuck your hands in behind your knees and float up into boat pose. Tuck your hands here, keep your toes here, or if you want to come with me with something stronger, you can push out with your feet, bring your palms together. Maybe we're going to inhale and stretch the arms wide. Maybe we're going to bring everything back. Inhaling, arms wide, palms together. Drop the toes at any time. And one more lovely deep breath as you inhale and exhale. Wonderful. Now, the kettle's boiled, but I'm just going to leave it for a wee moment as we straighten out both legs. And then you're going to fold into, let's call it your left leg, straightening out with your right and planting your hand down onto the ground. Maybe you want to just come into a nice twist. If you want to come with me, you can lift the hips. Maybe you can point out into the toe. Maybe you can lift the hips a little higher and then express yourself in this beautiful way during your routine. Maybe you might even want to turn it into a little bit of a gaze towards the ceiling, but if the neck doesn't like that, then keep looking ahead. And back down again. So we'll move to the other side. So you're folding in with your right leg now. I'm going to have to turn my back to you as you maybe just practice a gentle twist. And if you're coming with me, you can push into the heel of the straightened leg and then turn it into a bit of a toe point as you lift the chest up towards the ceiling. Now the bent knee, it's quite nice to be on the toe. Just for a little bit of height and expression. Back down you go. Well done. And fold the feet back, lift the hips, and find yourself in a nice regular downward dog. Now if you've got a nice speedy kettle like mine, your mind will be telling you to go and use that lovely hot water to make your tea. So remember, dive out of the practice at any time you need to build this around whatever it is you're doing, cooking, cleaning, maybe just back from a walk and you're trying to settle the dog after a walk, dropping down onto your knees. Okay, so I'm going to make my tea now. I've got my tea bag ready, there it is. Water's still nice and hot. Now what I do is I fill it about 3/4 and let the tea bag nicely infuse. And then I top it up with hot water afterwards. Because I'm going to go back to my practice. I'm now up on my feet. Now then, if you can imagine that you've got a breakfast bar, a shelf or the back of a chair in front of you, I'm going to use this window ledge here. You can come with me. So let's step back with our right leg and let's bring the palms together, and then we can start to fold a little onto the balancing leg, and maybe we can take off with our arms and our foot behind us, resting onto anything that's comfortable. Bend into that extended leg if you need to, stretching forward, and we're going to tuck everything back into the centre line, and then we're going to take that right leg and we're going to fold it in towards the leg. Inhaling, coming up, and if you're nice and brave, you can allow a lovely bow in your tree pose. Back up to centre. And then we'll switch to the other side. So we're balancing on the opposite leg now, stepping back with the toe, palms to chest, and then we can find our way into this, using the support of something to lean against, bending into the knee if we need to, or keeping the toe on the ground. Lovely, lengthen the body, strengthen the tummy and the balancing leg. Well done. Start to bend at the elbows and at that knee as you bring everything back around, and then folding the opposite leg into the thigh, allowing the arms to drift up, and then have a little sail to one side. Back to centre and gently lower down. So one of the beauties of being able to practice yoga on your own is to improvise. So you can improvise with the following lunges. So remember, don't feel that you have to go and spend 10 minutes logging onto YouTube. Find 10 minutes and improvise. So we're going to start by coming into a lunge, and you're going to step forward with your right leg. Now, here are all the different lunges you can do. You can come with me. There is a low lunge. You can tuck the knee behind, tuck the toe behind you, lift the knee off the ground, and you're into a high lunge. You might even want to elevate the arms. Well done. And then we can do an open lunge as we allow the chest to open nice and wide, the arms spread in this gesture. Maybe we can do a moving lunge. This is all improvisation. These are just suggestions. And maybe we can do a strong twist. Palms together and feel that tummy rotating. So I'd like you to go to the other side and improvise. You can rest in downward dog. And you're taking your left leg forward this time. Remember, low, or high, back heel grounded, maybe open, maybe moving. And maybe using a strong tummy to rotate and twist. Improvising all the time. And if you're improvising, a great pose to go back into always is downward dog. So I'm going to encourage you to drop your knees, flatten your feet. You can either lie on your back now, or you can rest in something a little stronger, if you like, which is the puppy pose. So the hips are high and the forehead's resting on the floor. And I'm going to read to you from Donna Farey's excellent book called The Breathing Book, and it's published by Owl Books. And she says the following: as you rest, note the feelings and sensations that arise in your body and heart. As you settle, a little parade of thoughts, feelings, sensations arise and dissolve. They arise and they dissipate without your effort. And she says this, which is wonderful: imagine that you are like the sky, and the thoughts, sensations, are like clouds drifting by. Some stay for a while, some drift swiftly. Take your awareness to your breath over and over again, remembering that you are the sky. Let your breathing be simply what it is. Let the breath breathe you. Simply allow yourself to be a sky. Allow yourself to be a sky. And if you're in puppy pose, I'd like you to come up to kneeling. And if you're lying, I'd like you to come up to sitting. 10 minutes. It's a little bit over for the purpose of illustrating the 10 minutes. But as I go and gravitate towards that lovely cup of tea, yes, it will be a little bit strong, but it doesn't matter. You're going to go and build 10 minutes of yoga, maybe 2-3 times a week, around an existing routine that you do. And you will improvise and discover just how wonderful it is. Now I do need to dilute this tea a little bit with the hot water in the kettle, so I'm going to do that now. And cheers everybody. Thank you for joining me. Join me for part 3, which is all about yoga being accessible and relaxing. Cheers. That's not bad.